Hello guys and welcome here to the Jello Cup Series. This, I believe, is race number 21, if I'm not mistaken. Let me double check. Yes, it is race number 21 here today from the Homestead Miami Speedway. Today we present to you the Dixie Vodka 400. I'm Brian James here in the booth with you. A very happy holidays to all of you watching this race today. Starting on the pole will be Mitchell Collins in the 21, and to his outside will be Brandon Harris in the number 7. As we get going here, let's show you your knockout qualifying results. Of course, Tyler Rattray, Austin Shaw, Jody Shane Davis, Willa Ruby Crouch, Dan Hummel, Chris Smith, and Dylan Ibrahimian. They are all the ones that have advanced to today's race. And the big storyline, of course, entering this race is that we are so close to the playoffs. Of course, after today, we will have about 5 races left. So, big storyline there. Next race, we should be able to show you your playoff picture. But the big storyline, of course, is also the number 5 of Dustin Davis. He's been on a little bit of a downward spiral of late. Of course, he finished with 2 37th place finishes at the doubleheader at Pocono. Not exactly the results he needed. Of course, he fell from 105 points ahead to, I believe, around 70 or 60 points ahead. So, is there a little bit of panic? More than likely. Actually, it might have been more in the 80s, but still, there should be some panic. Is this the downward spiral? Is this where things start to unravel for this 5 team? That's going to be the big question entering this race. Can they put that behind them? Can they shut up the doubters today? That will be the big question throughout the course of the race. And of course, he is starting in the teens, so it's going to be a little bit of an uphill climb. And you saw how the racing was yesterday. I expect a lot of the same here today. I'm sure you guys will as well. We will see what happens. Hopefully Dustin Davis can end this little bit of a cold streak. Of course, he's got guys like Zach Fitzwater that are chasing him right now for the regular season championship. If he loses the points lead, he needs a win, and he may need one today. We'll see what happens. Let's roll the intro though, and we'll be back with your starting lineup here in just a moment from Homestead.
You are watching the Gaming Collaboration Network, home of the Jello Cup Series.
Oh man, through turns 3 and 4, we're going to have ourselves another photo finish, and I believe this time the 43 Tim Randolph will win at Daytona.
The Lift National Series. Here we go. They make their way through turn 3 and 4. The pace car will peel off. And for the first time ever, the Lift National Series is green here at Daytona. The Hitachi Truck Series. And here we go. The pace truck is gonna peel off. And for the first time ever in GCN history, we have a truck series, and we are underway under the lights here at Daytona in Tuesday night heat. Start for us. Your GCN presentation starts right now.
Here we go. The starting lineup will roll on the left-hand side of your screen. Of course, the pace car peels off, and we want to mention again the pit road here. A tricky entry, of course. We saw it yesterday, a wreck involving Nathan Baden. very well could happen here. Of course, this is their first race since the All-Star break. So maybe some tension from there. Maybe some giddiness to get back behind the wheel in a points-paying race. We'll see. The 43 of Scott Upton has an issue as the green flag waves were underway at Homestead. Oh man, Scott Upton came to a complete stop. The good news is he's going to get off the track. But that is not the run this team needed. They've got 2 wins. They should be secure in the playoffs, but they have to stay top 30. Oh, there's a wreck behind. A caution is out. It's the 42 of Patrick Smith, the defending winner of the race, and Dallas Jordan in the 53. Another wreck up ahead. Astrid Flores up and over. Jordan Anderson involved in that wreck. So was Mohammed Zain Abdullah, possibly the 2. Another wreck up ahead. 3 wrecks on track, and it involves Dustin Davis. He goes spinning. Nathan Faden with damage. So does the 24. Absolute chaos has ensued in lap number 1. Or lap number 2, rather. We're going to have a lot of replays to show you, and we will show them to you in just a moment. Jody Shane Davis, her day is done. Patrick Smith, of course, he won this race last season. He will not finish this time around. Tough break for the season 4 champ. In fact, Patrick Smith's going to finish last. And I believe somehow, oh man, is the 43 still on the lead lap? Because if he is, he could become the race leader. No, he's pitting. But he is on the lead lap. This is huge. As Mitchell Collins will win the race off the pit lane. Let's go see what happened. Alright, so we had 3 wrecks that we got to recap here. Here's wreck number 1. See there, oh man, Patrick Smith just gets up and over with some help from the 53 of Dallas Jordan. They were running 4 wide up here. Now up ahead. Here's where wreck number 2 takes place. I believe it's another 4 wide situation, this time involving Jody Shane Davis. And you see there the 96 goes up and over. And into the fence as well. Jordan Anderson involved. And keep in mind, Jordan Anderson is one of the guys battling to get into the top 33. This is not a wreck he needed. Up ahead, another 4 wide situation. This one involving teammates and a defending champ. Alexander Rowe, Austin Shaw, Dan Hummel. They go around here. Then you see the 24. He has nowhere to go. Where does the 5 of Dustin Davis spin around? You see there, he's trying to avoid all this. Oh, he gets hit from the 15. And that sends the 5 around and will do some damage to the rear end of the car. The bad luck continues for Dustin Davis. 3 incidents in 1 lap. Totally unrelated. And we will take you back to the green here after the most 2020 wreck we have seen this season here at Homestead. Getting ready for the restart here. The cars out of the race. Mohammed Zain Abdullah, Nate Rattray, Nathan Faden, Jody Shane Davis, Astrid Flores, and Patrick Smith. Those are the guys out of the race. It'll be Mitchell Collins, Brandon Harris, Chris Smith, Dylan Ibrahimian, Diego Yepes, your top 5. Then in 6th, we got Matt Dixon. 7th, Casey Naneko. 8th is Tim Randolph. 9th is Sky Commons. And in 10th is Xavier Rain. Back up front, the green flag flies. We're back underway at Homestead. Now, we had mentioned in pre-race the adversity that 5 had to overcome. They've now gotten rear-ended. How bad will that affect the race car? Because, oh, the 41's pitting. He's got an issue. And he slides up almost back onto the track. The 88 is joining him on the pit lane. So is the 11. As you see the battle for the lead going on between Chris Smith and Mitchell Collins. Keep in mind, Chris Smith is well out of the picture. I don't even think he can qualify for the playoffs. So that's something we should note. As far as I know, he can't even qualify for the playoffs. He's just mathematically not even possible that he could get there. So he's just looking to steal a win. A guy who could mathematically qualify for the playoffs here, of course, is that number 7, and he is battling for the lead with Mitchell Collins. As you see more leaders peeling off to pit. And now the 7 of Brandon Harris becomes the new race leader here at Homestead. Of course, not many rookies have won races this season. Brandon Harris would love to add his name to the list of rookie winners this season and possibly rookies in the playoffs. That remains to be seen. Here comes the 38, Dylan Ibrahimian. He is one of the go-or-go homers. Another guy who I believe is, well, actually, he just might be able to squeak in. You never know. Oh, the 6 was looking inside. .65 Xavier Rain is pitted. There's 00 Diego Yepes. He's already a winner this season. See, Mitchell Collins falls all the way back to 6. There's some guys pitting. No, just the 18's looking inside of that 03 of Charles Sanford, and he's going to put the bumper to him. Charles Sanford, he's been running up front the last few races. Some good runs going. Of course, he'd like to continue that. You see Dylan Young up here now. There's the 13, Tyler Rattray. Of course, you see the 77 of David Paschal as well. But Brandon Harris continues to lead as now Tim Randolph is in second. Here comes Charles Sanford for third. Keep in mind, up next on the Jello Cup schedule, of course, we do have a few weeks off, but then we return at Zenjoltis. That will be a Monday night event. And of course, the first time we go to Zenjoltis, and it is not a playoff race or the Championship 4 race. Of course, that race was given to Ricky Raceway now. As you see some guys coming onto the pit lane, Chase Miller will now become the race leader. So, of course, we go to Zen Joltis on Monday night. Then we go to Kentucky the Saturday following that. Then we go to Nashville. Then we go to Canadian Tire. And then Indianapolis. And that will wrap up the regular season. Of course, that race will wrap up the month of January as well. If you want to see the full schedule, be sure to check out our website for that. See the top two pitting. Nicky Martinez, Chase Miller. See how these two stack up with the rest of the leaders. And where did the 7 come out? See there, he lost a position to Tim Randolph. But there goes the 1 of Chris Smith. And the 65 Xavier Rain as well. That might be the battle for the lead, as you see the 65 Xavier Rain rear end damage and all. Now he's up to second, and Xavier Rain is in the best position of all of these Western New York Auto Sport cars. Of course, he was the fan vote winner number 1. That's one of the reasons. And of course, the other reason is that, of course, he is the highest in the points of all the Western New York Auto Sport drivers, as Sky Commons will now take the race lead. In second right now is that 66 of Jesse James. Keep in mind we should have one more cycle of stops coming up. That'll likely be toward the end of this whole event. The 88 Dick Clark is lap traffic. And you see they will pit. So will the 1. This should hand the lead to Tyler Rattray. And here we go, battle for second back here. And they should be able to get it pretty easy. That 65 does not have the arrow right where he wants it. But Tyler Rattray will take the lead for the time being. Brandon Harris now up to second. Charles Sanford up to third, but he is battling for that second position. One thing to keep in mind, Tyler Rattray and those guys that are a little off sequence. As you see the 65 Xavier Rain. Those guys pit. And if we get a caution, this could put them in a bad spot because they'd be a lap down. This would be a major benefit for that 03 as well as the 7, as they are more the on-sequence drivers right now. And you see there, they keep trading positions there. Charles Sanford loses that third position. And maybe the 13 isn't one of those off-cycle drivers either. That's another thing we can factor in. But Tyler Rattray is another driver very far out of the picture. Mathematically, I don't think could get into the picture. And of course, that being said, he can just go out here and win just for fun. Caution is out. 25's got some damage. I'm wondering if he had something to do with this. But this pins a lot of drivers one lap down. Keep that in mind. And this could very well be the money stops coming up here. Here we go. You see all the leaders diving down to the pit lane. Again, money stop here in all likelihood. But when we go back green, could these guys be dealing with lap traffic? It will be a tough break for those who are off sequence. We mentioned that. What if a caution comes out? Because it would hurt those guys. Oh! Contact between the 13 and the 03. Maybe he was trying to intimidate him a little bit. Will it impact the stop of Tyler Rattray? And it will. It did have an impact on his stop. The 03, Charles Sanford, can he win the race off the pit lane and gain the race lead? He will not. The 7 will win the race off the pit lane. Let's go see what happened. Not gonna lie, this looks like something you'd see at Martinsville. You see the 35 and the 6 kind of battle it out, and the 6 gets the bad end of the deal as the 35 just not lifting there. Not really the way you want to race a veteran around here, and Tim Randolph in all likelihood will remember that. Especially being that the 35, well, the 35 doesn't have much to lose, but the 6 does, but I'm sure he'll remember that. We'll see what happens as we will go back to the green here in just a moment. Pace car peels off. We're getting ready to go back racing here. It'll be Brandon Harris, Charles Sanford, Carter Joey, Chase Miller, Nicky Martinez, the top 5. Then in 6th, you've got Casey Naneko, Tyler Rattray in 7th, Samet Ozkan in 8th, Zach Fitzwater in 9th, Dylan Ibrahimian in 10th, and Zach Fitzwater in 9th. Dustin Davis is in 20th. We'll see how he responds. Of course, there's going to be a lap traffic moment here as we get ready to, or we get restarted here. A lap traffic moment presented by Fitzwater's Angriness. And it is that 65 of Xavier Rain. Keep in mind, much like yesterday's race, he could have a factor in who wins this race, or he could have a say in who wins this race. As you see the 7 of Brandon Harris going low, he'll be able to use that car as a pick. The caution is back out. We're racing back to the stripe, and they are going to pin that 65 a lap down. And it's going to hurt the 03 most because he is now trapped behind the 65. We had a wreck in turn 1 that brings out the caution. In all likelihood was the 78 of Jordan Anderson. Will these guys pit again? And yes, they will. Oh, some guys being held up back there. Another issue trying to get to the pit lane for some of these leaders. Man, the 65 has got to be saying, I wish I was ahead of these guys right now. Because if he was ahead of the pace car, he'd likely be the race leader right now. Coming to 10 to go, I believe. Or 11 to go, rather. It's going to be fuel only. They're just going to top off. Let's go see what happened. I'm going to guess someone here did not get going. You see 4 wide just about, and Jordan Anderson just gets hooked by the 25. Up the track with Diego Yepes and into the wall for the 78. A tough break for Jordan Anderson. We're going to have a late race restart. Anything could happen. And we'll be right back with that here in just a moment. Getting ready for the restart here. Under 10 laps to go. It'll be Brandon Harris, Chase Miller, Casey Naneko, Carter Joey, Tyler Rattray, that's your top 5. Then Mitchell Collins in 6th, Eric Faden 7th, Nicky Martinez 8th, Dallas Jordan 9th, Dylan Young rounds out your top 10. Points at stake here. Keep this in mind. A win could put you in the playoffs. Of course, right behind Brandon Harris, 3 winners this season. Looking to add to their win total, looking to add to their playoff points total. Chase Miller hoping a win could get him to 17 or 15 playoff points. We'll see. We're back underway. See, they're already fanning out 3 wide. Here goes Casey Naneko, the Charlotte winner, battling side by side with the Daytona 500 winner. They're still side by side. The 35 looks to have the advantage right now. Meanwhile, the 7 is just getting away. Oh, the 18 dives it in. The 35 tried to block, and it didn't quite pay off for him. But the 35 hangs on. And now he'll look for the lead. This is the turn to pass. And here goes the 35, Chase Miller to the race lead. Now here comes Casey Naneko again, looking for the lead. He'll dive it in, force the 35 high. Tight side-by-side battle, and they may bring Mitchell Collins into this with 5 laps of racing to go. Chase Miller is the leader. You see there, here goes the 18. He had a good run through the center of the corner. But instead he's side by side with the 7, and again he dives it in and moves the 35 up the track. I imagine Chase Miller will remember this later. That's the second time that 18 has used the fenders to try to get around the 35, and he does so this time successfully. And now here comes the 35 charging on that outside lane with 4 to go. I don't think he'll be so nice this time. One guy who's loving this side-by-side door-to-door battle is Mitchell Collins. Maybe not anymore, because now Carter Joey is right there. We got 3 laps of racing to go. Here goes Mitchell Collins to the outside. He's going to take second. Chase Miller to the lead. It could be between these two. Chase Miller's going to pit. He doesn't have enough fuel. That could be excellent news if you're Mitchell Collins. Maybe. Don't hold your breath yet. Here comes Carter Joey. 2 laps of racing to go. Exactly why I told you don't hold your breath. Don't rule out that 4 either. We've seen some crazy things this race. But do these guys have enough fuel will be the big question. The 5 doesn't have enough fuel, it looks like. No, the 5 doesn't have enough fuel. A heartbreak for that guy, Dustin Davis. And this is going to really help that 4. The white flag is out. 1 lap of racing to go, presented by Mitchell's Memes. And Carter Joey leads the race right now. Man, Mitchell Collins is going to need a really good run through the center of the corner here to make anything happen. He's going to really have to dive it in here. And instead, the 7's going to get in there and take second. And now he'll look for the lead. Through turns 3 and 4, does he have enough? He does not. Carter Joey wins at Homestead. That is Carter Joey's 2nd win of the season. Of course, his first win since Phoenix earlier this year. adds another one to the total. Of course, it's been a dominant season for SHR and a dominant 2020 for them here in the Jello Cup Series. Of course, we had Season 5 earlier in 2020. Now we have Season 6 here covering the end of 2020. So, go out on top at the end of Season 5. They now go on top at the end of 2020 with a win. Congratulations to Carter Joey, his second win of the year. We want to thank you all for watching. We're going to show you results and standings in just a moment, but before we do so, again, we want to wish you all, of course, being the last video supposedly of 2020, we want to wish you all a Merry Christmas, a Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa. To those who have celebrated Hanukkah, hope it was very safe and enjoyable for you all. Of course, for those, a very happy New Year as well coming up. Of course, New Year's Day about a week away. Hopefully you all have a safe and healthy, happy and healthy holidays, especially in this time of COVID. Please be safe. And we will see you back here on GCN in 2021. But let's show you results and standings now. Till then, goodbye everyone.